I think we're live. I have no idea whether you guys can hear me or not. I really hope so. I hope you guys can hear me because I'm trying out something new today with my headphones. I'm just going to give it a minute for people to join to receive the notification. Okay, so it seems like I can mute my microphone, and when I speak, it seems like it's activated. So I guess you guys can hear me. I wonder. I'm just going to wait a couple of minutes. Hi, Sanjana. Could you please let me know if you can hear me? Can you hear what I'm saying? Because I'm trying out. Okay, so it's fine, yeah? I'm trying out something different. I'm going to wear my headphones today for the duration of this. Hi, Priyanka. Hi, Anedwana. So just let me know, guys, if you can't hear me because I'm trying out something different. Hi, Illusion. Hi, Kavia Balasubramanian. Wow, that's a name. Okay, so you can hear me. That's good. I'm trying out something different today because I am feeling a little bit vulnerable today, a little bit tender. I've been having a bit of a low mood kind of day, and I was thinking maybe I should cancel coming live because I'm not feeling so well. But then I thought, no, that's the whole point of having a full moon in Cancer. We are going to be feeling moody. We are going to be in our feelings. And it's good to talk about these experiences. It's good to not just run away and hide under the blanket and pretend like you don't have feelings or like you're not vulnerable. Um, but I thought I would compromise. Okay, I'm going to go live because I wanted to be with you guys. I didn't want to disappoint you. I wanted to show up. But at the same time, I'm kind of like respecting myself because I'm feeling very tender today, very vulnerable. My misophonia, so my sensitivity to sounds is very intense because my feelings are very all over the place. So I decided, okay, I'm just going to use my headphones. So we're going to compromise. Yeah. Um, I'm working at the moment at trying to balance my needs with other people's needs. You know, those very important South Node in Libra, North Node in Aries energies that I was born with. Not to do too much for other people, to disregard myself, but also not to be too focused on myself and too selfish with my energy that I push everybody away, you know. Thank you so much, Anadwana. I will take it easy. Thank you, sweetie. Yes, red lipstick. Red lipstick is, if you see me wearing red lipstick, I'm not doing well. It's my way to cover up vulnerability. It makes me feel confident. It makes me look like I have color in my face. And it distracts people because they look at my mouth and not at my eyes most of the times. And today because I've been feeling quite vulnerable, I've been reading a lot about dreams. I've been thinking about memories, and I've been crying. So my eyes are a little bit red. So when I wear red lipstick, I'm trying to trick people into looking at my mouth and not at my eyes. I used to do this when I was a teacher as well. I would wear red lipstick and glasses because they would give me confidence to sit in front of 300 students and talk about gender equality, which is apparently a lost cause in 2025. And I can't believe that we have to start feminism from scratch all over again. But if we have to do it, then we have to do it, guys. Anyway, today, because it's a full moon in Cancer, and as I said, Cancer, it's about coziness, it's about feeling protective, it's about feeling vulnerable but trying to hide it. I'm wearing a onesie. I have my bunny slippers on to match my onesie. I have my blanket here to hide behind it when the world is too cruel. All of these things are making my Sagittarius stellium feel the ick because I have so much fire in my chart and my fire nature is like, oh, what are you doing? But my sensitive Pisces energies, this Jupiter in Cancer conjunct the full moon in Cancer, are telling me otherwise. So I'm going to prioritize water today over fire. Fire is going to have its moment. We will be having some pretty interesting transits. Today, I was filling up my calendar and I have a calendar with cats because, of course, so it's a cat and moon calendar that I found in the supermarket around the time right before New Year's Eve. And I was penciling in some important astrological dates in my calendar. And just so you know, very briefly, I've started something on the spiritual cosmos called the Astroscoop. And it just basically means that I'll be talking you guys through this list of events that are going to be taking place in about a 15 minutes long video or shorter than that. So I plan to just create every month this Astro Scoop. At the beginning of each month, I would launch it somewhere around the 30th, 31st, or the first of the month, in which I just basically quickly tell you the important planetary changes that are taking place astrologically. So you know when Venus changes signs, when Mars changes signs, whether we'll be having a Mercury retrograde, whether there is a big event like Jupiter changing signs or Saturn changing signs or Pluto going retrograde. Those are really important dates. I used to give you guys a list on my community tab on the Spiritual Cosmos, my astrology channel. But I realized it's better if I just talk to you about what's going on, because we have this interactive one-to-one exchange and it feels a bit better. I don't know, some people have a visual memory, so they remember things easier if they put a face to what is going on. So, and Edwana is sharing with us in the comments, I've been crying a lot too. I don't feel like January is a time to plan everything ahead. I'm Kurdish. We celebrate the New Year during Nowruz around March. And Edwana, you and your people are incredibly intelligent, and you are much more in sync with the cycles of nature than all of us idiots who begin the new year on the 1st of January just because a man told us to do so somewhere a couple of centuries ago. It's not natural. I completely agree. 1st of January is the middle of winter. Why the F are we beginning the year with low energy? Pretending with alcohol and fireworks that it's not the middle of winter and nature doesn't have a hold on us. It's that whole patriarchal idea that nature should be disregarded, we shouldn't care about nature, we should do whatever the F we want, which is not correct. You see how Mother Nature is retaliating against us. We need to respect her. And we need to respect ourselves, because the more we try to separate from nature, from cycles, the worse our mental health is becoming, the worse our eating habits, the worse our dysregulated functions. The body exists in a space, in a natural environment that was given to us by the creator, whoever that may be. And we just need to respect these things. We can no longer live our lives thinking we have no bodies, nature doesn't matter, because these things really do matter. And we see the negative consequences of our desire to be materialistic, technology obsessed, detached from the body. We are seeing it in the price of our health, right? With soaring mental health issues and rising costs and epidemics and viruses spreading everywhere, right? But anyway, on that cheery note, yeah, I just wanted to show you guys the calendar because it's really cute. And it has a quote, like it has quotes with cats for each month. Look at this. Looks so much like Luna. Oh, adorable. Um, so apparently the quote that is over here is about The fact that cats were brought into this world to contradict the prevailing assumption that animals were created to serve man. Because if there's one thing that you will find out is that cats do not obey. And that's why I love them so much, because they are the quintessential rebel of the pet world. Yeah. It's like you're not gonna get cats to do what they don't want to. Unless you love them a lot and you treat them really well. And if you do those things in abundance, they may come and snuggle up close to you when you are sad. Maybe. It's not guaranteed, but they may extend you a gesture of kindness. um, Illusion is saying, Lexi, what do you think about sun representing masculinity and moon femininity, both in spirituality and psychology? I've been coming across some sociological books about how patriarchy changed the origins of what the sun and the moon represents. You know, it's interesting because in German, the moon is male and the sun is female, right? So you have die Sonne und der Mond, if I'm not mistaken. So it depends on language, I think, because, you know, language is really important in setting up the order of how we take in knowledge and how we communicate it. So if you're born in a society that uses a specific language in which the sun is gendered as male and the moon is gendered as female, maybe you believe in those archetypal images. But if you are born German, you see them flipped, you know. So maybe that's why maybe Nordic people, Germans, you know, they're more open-minded about gender identity to a certain extent. To a certain extent, I'm not going to glorify them or idealize them because they have their issues as well. But to a certain extent, yeah, they seem to be a bit more open-minded, at least in language and in certain policies. But yeah, it's an interesting thing to reflect upon. Traditionally, it is considered that the moon in astrology, I'm going to tell you about what I know. In astrology, the moon represents the fourth house. The sign of Cancer rules over the fourth house. And I've been writing so much today about the fourth house and fourth house issues, transits of Pluto to the fourth house, which can be very emotionally impactful, scary, harrowing. And then sitting in opposition from the fourth house. So the fourth house is the root of the zodiac. Sometimes you find the imum coeli inside of it, the IC, the root of the zodiac. And it springs all the way up looking at the midheaven. And the midheaven is usually contained in the 10th house, usually, but not all the time. Some people have it in the 9th house. Depends on the chart. But usually the midheaven contained in the 10th house, the 10th house is the house of Capricorn, and it is associated with this image of outward realizations, the sun, the father. However, I've been reading extensively on both of these house placements, and Liz Green and Howard Sasportas, two very famous astrologers, very influential, and Howard has actually written a book on the astrological houses. They actually say that from their experience with clients, from analyzing hundreds of charts, they found out that actually fourth house issues affect the father in our lives, and 10th house issues affect the mother. And I always thought it was flipped, you know? I always thought, no, wait, Cancer, mother, femininity, the womb, fourth house. But no. And I personally experienced this last year when my father was diagnosed with cancer. It was exactly as Pluto was crossing over my IC. Exactly as it was entering my fourth house, my father fell to the ground. It was unbelievable. I still get goosebumps when I think about it. And I knew that something was going to happen. I just didn't expect that Pluto was going to take away my father, but it did. It took away my father. And because it took away my father, now I am left to work at my relationship to my mother, who has become unapproachable, cold. A lot of aspects that I did not expect came out of her, such as, I don't want to get into it because this is not the therapy session, but my mother I'm seeing the how should I put it into words? I'm seeing the shadow of my mother very strongly for the first time in my life. I've always had a difficult relationship with her, but I try to forgive her. I try to be the bigger person. I try to give her attenuating circumstances. I've always tried to be like to live up to her expectations, you know. And now I just can't do it anymore. Pluto is not allowing me to do it anymore. It's just kind of like showing me this is who this person is. You can't get over this. Look how she's betraying you. Look how she's using you. Look how she's avid for all sorts of material assets. All this time she told you one story, but in reality, this is who she really is. This is who gave birth to you. And as I'm seeing this, I also have to reconcile with the feminine aspect inside of me that is being hit and hit by these negative images of the mother that I'm perceiving. And also the masculine aspect inside of me needs a lot of healing as well, because losing my father made me incredibly vulnerable at the moment. And I've been attracting more masculine attention in the last months than I ever wanted to attract. And it's especially now when I'm vulnerable and I am keeping everybody away, even though it is my desire to fall in love and to be with the soulmate, but I'm keeping all of this male attention away because I just feel the need to protect myself. I feel the need to deal with these issues that Pluto is bringing up from the roots of my zodiac. And it's a good time for me to focus on my therapy, to focus on my growth, to focus on my dream world, to focus on integrating archetypes and allowing another person to come into my life, even if they bring me the power of love, which can be amazing, will completely dysregulate me again, you know? So I'm very protective of myself. I love being inside of my nest. I love spending time by myself. It can be incredibly difficult. Today was a difficult day. Today was not a day when I was feeling like a powerful baddie that has her shit together. Today I'm feeling like a wounded woman that has gone through so much shit that I can't believe how much I've been carrying, but I feel the need to process it and to show up and to show you guys the truth. You know, I feel like I have a stellium in Sagittarius. I am a person that is honest, that sees a lot of things. The problem is that because I have Pluto in the first house, I have been punished throughout my life for being able to pick up on something and name it. Like I normally enter into a room and I know what's going on. I know who has said what. I know where the taboo situation is. I meet the person and the person smiles at me and tries to sell me something, and I know exactly what this person wants from me. And if I say it, if I put it into words and I tell the person what I see in them, I usually get punished. I usually disrupt relationships. I usually suffer consequences because people don't like to hear the truth. It's a very well known fact. People like to be flattered, they like to be told what they want to hear. You cannot say the truth so easily. And I suffered greatly throughout my life, especially when I was younger and I was a kid and I was naive. I didn't know, you know, I saw something, I said it, you know. Um, and I suffered greatly because of this. I could even see things that were not there, and like presences, spirits, auras, globes, all sorts of things, you know. And you don't want to say it because you develop this other side as a clever person, the side that tells you don't say anything right now because if you say it, you know what's going to happen. So you kind of learn how to lie to defend who you are, to defend yourself, to stop punishment from coming your way. And for a good portion of my life, I lived like that. I was this, you know, be polite, don't say anything, don't disrupt the waters, okay? Because I had this image of a huge hand that would descend from heavens and smack me, you know, if I dare say the truth. But then I also had moments in my life when I would release this tension and I would tell people the truth and the truth would transform them. So I noticed, you know, And I have all sorts of people coming to me, like random strangers, just coming towards me. It's like, oh my God, you look like somebody familiar. Or my father just passed away and you remind me of him. I had a daughter that I lost and you look just like her. You look like an actress that I'm obsessed with, you know. I just had people and like people just randomly coming up to me and telling me their life stories, their deepest, darkest, dirtiest secrets, just like that, you know. So, in a way, becoming a therapist at the moment is going to finally allow me to be honest. It's going to finally allow me to use my really powerful Pluto, my powerful Sagittarius stellium to help people transform. Now I will have the tools and the setting and the academic background, the preparation, the experience to just be in a situation with somebody and tell them, yes, okay, project on me, let's do this, let's get you to the core of why you are feeling this, let's heal, let's transform. Yeah, so finally, it's been taking me a long period of time. I'm gonna be in my 40s soon, and I can't believe I survived because believe me, with Moon conjunct Saturn, a North Node in Aries, and Pluto in the first house, I really wanted to evacuate out of this earth many, many times. And I'm surprised. Sometimes it didn't work out. Other times people intervened and saved me. But I'm surprised I made it this far. You know, I really am. I'm shocked. Every time I celebrate my birthday, I'm like, wow, I made it through another year through the grace of God. This is phenomenal. You know, it's like I'm still here. Gabriela, Happy New Year. Happy New Year, sweetie. Yeah. We're getting deep today. We're getting really deep today. Yeah. Illusion is like important to scream, punch a pillow, allow the anger out so that it won't hurt you even more deeply. Yes. A good strategy to allow the anger out is to move your body, of course. And I started dancing on New Year's Eve. You know, I drank some champagne, and when I drink, I feel the need to dance. It's something I learned from a friend of mine. When I was 16 years old, I went to this party. And at the time, I had a best friend who was a Gemini, and she was very sociable and she knew a lot of things, you know. So she was a very good influence for me because I was more inward, I was retreated, you know. And we went to this party, I think to celebrate the birthday of one of her friends. And we just drank, and people were constantly giving us drinks. And I think we drank beer and then we switched to whiskey and then we had tequila and Coca-Cola, you know, like random stuff that teenagers drink. And it's okay, it's allowed. In Romania, you can drink after you are 16 years old. You know, it's not illegal for us to do so. And the funny thing is that we drank so much that we started like spinning, our head was spinning, and I felt the need to throw up. And she was like, no, 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 no. Get up, get up. We need to dance and sweat it out. Okay. No throwing up. Nobody's going to throw up. We just need to sweat it out. Okay. So that's what we did. We just manically, wildly danced for about 30 minutes. We sweated it out. And then I went outside and I think it was her friend who was celebrating his birthday. And he actually was throwing up. And I went and I was like, are you okay? And I just was trying to tell him in my drunken stupor, it's like, no, 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 you have to sweat it out, no throwing. I was basically just telling him what my friend was telling me. And it was remarkable, but he kind of like just wiped his mouth. He looked at me and smiled. And that's how I started kind of like dating the store's guy. Yeah, mutual throw up that brought us together, you know? And sweat. That's how you start a relationship, guys, with, you know, showing the other person your worst, you know. If you know that a person can see you at your worst and they find you attractive, then you've got it made, you know. It can only go upwards from this point onwards. Thank you so much. Adi, thank you so much. Thank you for the donation. You're so sweet. I can tell you more stories about my love life if you guys want to hear it. It seems to make me feel better if I just like bring out random memories. I will never share with you guys like details related to these men's lives, but I can tell you like astrologically, if you're interested, I have a wealth of stories. Not all of them are happy. Not all of them were successful. Not all of them ended in us hooking up or kissing. You know, I had many relationships when I kind of loved the person from afar. I knew that they were unapproachable, unattainable, but I still crushed on them very heavily. Lately, I've been doing something quite remarkable. I've been learning how to work through my romantic attachments by understanding my projections. Because, you know, a lot of the times when we crush on somebody, we project something that exist inside of us onto them, but we're not aware of that thing. Like we tend to crush on a person that feels or looks in a certain way because it reminds us of something inside of ourselves, you know. And when you identify that, like when you figure out that projection, you will see that the crush diminishes its power and you gradually move on to somebody else. It's incredible. I did it with a colleague of mine. There is a colleague at work that, well, at work, in my studies, because I'm not working at the moment in a corporation or anything like that. I'm just working on personal orders here. Um, but when I go to my studies, there is a man that I found really attractive. And the more that I got to see him interact with other people, the more I was crushing on him because I was like, oh my God, he's not only intelligent and good looking, but he's also treating people kindly and politely. And he's like stepping in to protect women. And I was like, oh my God, this guy, my heart. It's like, I can't take it. It's like, stop being so goddamn perfect, you know? And then I realized that I was projecting my father figure onto him. I was projecting a lot of the qualities that I really loved in dad. And the moment when I realized that projection, that's when I started to see his flaws as well. So I started to see that he can be controlling, that he can be a bit too much, that he takes leadership without asking for permission from other people. And I was just like, okay, okay. Now I realize it wasn't crushing on you. It was just a projection of my mind because I'm really missing dad, you know? And he reminded me of him. He has this paternal energy. So yeah. Try it, guys, try it. So when you find somebody that you are like obsessing over, you find yourself sliding in that romantic fantasy land, try to think about, whom does this person remind me of? What do I love about this person? Why do I find this person so fascinating? And try to go beyond, oh, this person has beautiful lips or, you know, good body. Sometimes, yes, you know, we're animals, we're very lusty creatures. So, of course, you just like a person because they look really good and you're like, oh, you're horny, you know. But if you kind of rise above that and the obsession continues, then it's clearly more than just physical. There is something there that your soul wants you to understand about this particular person. Why do you find them so attractive? Like I was crushing very heavily on my recent masculine obsession. My male celebrity obsession is Caleb Landry Jones. I absolutely adore him. And I was thinking about it. You know, why do I like him so much? Why am I crushing over him? Oh my God. Well, he is a very good actor. He has incredible presence on screen. Like he really melts beyond his characters. He becomes his characters, you know, every time. And it's incredible to see how much he makes you feel when you watch him. Even if the movie is shit, he makes you feel a lot. And I love that. You know, I love a man who makes me feel. But I also noticed that he has a certain intensity, a certain honesty, which I was repressing inside of myself. So when I realized that, I was like, okay, you have to find a way to accept your intensity, to be more honest with people, and to put your feelings into words more often. It's okay for you, for myself, to allow myself to make other people feel things because I was kind of blocking that because of the Pluto fear, because I didn't want to disturb the peace, you know? So Caleb Landry Jones, through this crush, through this obsession that I projected onto him, helped me understand some things about my own intensity and emotions and how I should not control it so much. So again, it's so important when you crush on somebody, when you obsess on somebody, ask yourself, why am I crushing on them? What makes me so drawn to them? What do I love so much about them? Because if you start doing this work and you find answers to these questions, I guarantee you're going to find out something so interesting about yourself. Not only that, but you're also gonna escape the spell of the crush. And if you find yourself in a situation where you're working through certain reasons, and if you find the answers and the crush does not diminish in attractiveness, it increases, then that's a sure sign you have found somebody really important to you. Yeah. That's actually a really good indicator. So if you kind of like, if you work through issues and the crush's power does not diminish, if it grows, then you found somebody who is able to help you. Like there's definitely something deeper there, something that is not just a projection, something that is not just the unconscious trying to tell you something about you. It could very well be that this person's energy is exactly what you need in this life at the moment. You need that person in your life. You may be in the process of falling in love. It's not just a crush anymore. It's not just projection. Um, yeah. Catherine Machete is like, I had to look him up. I see your days. Um, you can, if you go on my website, I wrote an article about him and Rebecca Hall. They are both Moon in Aries people, and I absolutely love Moon in Aries people. Like my peeps are Moon in Sagittarius, Moon in Leo, and Moon in Aries because I have a Moon in Sagittarius. And, it's really important if you want to couple up with somebody or in order to assess if you are good friends, it's really important to see whether you guys have compatible moons. Yeah. Katarina saying, what if a crush lasts for many years? Could be two things here, Katarina. Maybe you haven't done the work and the crush is haunting you until you do the work, until you sit down with yourself and you ask yourself the questions I mentioned earlier. Like really sit down with yourself for concentrated 1 or 2 hours, just yourself, a cup of coffee or whatever gets you, to focus and ask yourself, why do I love this person? Why am I crushing on them? What attracts me to them? What is going on here? But if you are asking yourself, you're doing the work, you're finding the answers, and still the crush's intensity does not diminish, again, it's an indication that perhaps you are meant to be with this person. Yeah, you're meant to do something in the direction of this person. Illusion is saying Moon and Aries people are so pushy with me for some reason. Yes, completely. I agree. They are not for everybody's tastes. Okay. So, for example, I can tell you from my experience, I can bring it back to my love life. Um, Fire moons can be a little bit insensitive. Yeah. A lot. If I'm to be honest, we can be a lot insensitive, not a little bit. But I love that. I love their directness. I love their boldness. I love their dirty jokes. They crack me up so much. I love how they just jump into action without thinking. I find that hot. Um, but if you have a moon in Cancer, a moon in Pisces, a moon in Scorpio, you're not going to love that energy. You're going to feel like, what the F? Stop coming at me like this, ooh, manners, please. And I can tell you because I have been in relationships, in 2 relationships that were significant with men who had moon in Pisces. They were naturally drawn towards me because of my sun in Pisces, but I found them incredibly dissolving. Like it was very hard for me to laugh with them, to crack some naughty jokes with them. Um, it was just I was constantly feeling like I was putting the foot in my mouth, like I was constantly saying things that were harming them. And I didn't want to harm them. That was not the intention. The intention was to laugh. The intention was to crack a joke or to be a bit mean or sarcastic about something. And they just didn't get it. And I was always like, oh, I had to sit and explain myself. I had to sit and apologize. And also, it was kind of like irritating when they tried to initiate something more sexy. Like they were coming at me with this very soft energy that I found weak. I'm going to admit it. I didn't enjoy it. I thought it was like, what is this? What is this? Are you trying to tell me something? Could you be like more direct? Could you just spell it out for me? Because they were kind of like innuendos and like soft remarks and kind of like coming at me with watery eyes, expecting for me to interpret what was going on. And my Pluto and Scorpio was obviously doing the work, but you kind of get tired of being the therapist for your boyfriend in the relationship. You know, you kind of feel like, could you just say it? Could you just put it into words? Could you just put it into action? Could you just like come at me with it? You know, like instead of just sitting in the back, trying to get me to interpret your mind and to read your thoughts and your feelings because you're incapable of putting them into words or action. So no, I can understand. I am guilty of being the insensitive one. I am also um, from a non-guilty point of view, I also feel like I deserved some directness, some honesty, and I'm not supposed to be the mother of my boyfriend or the therapist of my boyfriend, you know. So Moon and Pisces men can, even without their knowledge, put you into that position, you know, because they're so sensitive, they're so feminine, like they're very in touch with their feminine side. There's nothing wrong with that. They're very sweet. But if your moon is not compatible, you're going to always rub against each other. There's always going to be friction. There's always going to be misunderstandings. Uh, when you want to relax, you know, a moon and water individual is going to always want to stay at home or bake, or family is going to be really important to them. While a moon and fire sign is always going to want to maybe travel and have adventures and explore and have sex, or just do something fun, you know, something spontaneous, something random, you know. Um, so yeah, it's going to be always difficult to reconcile these two aspects. Yeah. Moon in an air sign. Yes, I love moon and air sign people. Uh, Not so much Moon in Libra, I would say. I have an issue with Moon in Libra, but just because I guess they remind me of past life karma, because I have a South Node in Libra, and Libra generally, Libra energy in general, I should stay away from, you know. Although I respect Libra people, I find them beautiful. Some of my favorite writers and poets and artists are Libra, so completely, I can completely respect them, but I should keep my distance because for me, Libra is a karmic sign. I should go more towards Aries because I know my North Node is in Aries, my Jupiter is in Aries. And even though I kind of find Aries energy a little bit uncomfortable, it's also life-giving to me. It's also like, it's what I should go towards, and I should leave Libra energy behind because it's just dragging me down, you know? And Moon and Libra people are very sensitive to smells. They really love romance. Like all the time, you should keep them in the state of being wanted and desired and being told compliments and being given like nice perfumes. And they can be a bit too particular and finicky for me. Like my moon in Sagittarius sometimes just wants me to put my boots on and climb a hill, you know, and be sweaty and be happy and listen to rock music in my headphones. And that's my happy place, you know. That's my happy place, sitting by a campfire looking up at the stars, talking about philosophy and poetry and life and astrology, you know. That's my happy place. Finding an animal in the wild and being in the presence of that divine connection, while a moon in Libra could be like, let's get the pepper spray out, or let's get, you know, like, you know, this is not nice, I don't feel comfortable, I want to be in the city, I want to sip some champagne, I want to do my nails, you know. So yeah, Moon in Libra for me personally is not really, it's not, it's kind of grating on me. But I love a Moon in Aquarius. I love Moon in Aquarius individuals. Um, I love how spontaneous and surprising they can be. They're very misunderstood people. If you think about the fact that Audrey Hepburn and Marilyn Monroe had Moon in Aquarius, so both very beautiful women who were judged by how they looked rather than their very intelligent, adaptable natures. Um, so Yeah, for example, Marilyn Monroe was very good at selling, pitching things. She was really an avid reader, and not that many people write about that. She actually ran her own production company at some point, and I think it was not so famous because it went bankrupt after a couple of unsuccessful movies. But she did it. She challenged big studios and she created um, her own niche. Yeah. So yeah, I love Moon in Aquarius. Very good business people, and also very good friends. They're very, very loyal in terms of friendship. And they can be quite spontaneous and erratic, but I find that funny. I like that. you know, um, Spontaneity can be delightful sometimes. Cindy's like, lol, let's get that pepper spray out. Gosh, the Moon and Libra description is so accurate for me. I'm the type to complain about little stuff if it doesn't make me comfy. Yeah, the point is not to feel embarrassed or ashamed. I'm not saying these things to make you guys feel self-conscious. Every lunar placement has its flaws and its qualities. The important thing is just to be aware. When you are aware of certain parts of your personality, you are able to tailor them to certain situations. You're able to understand what is happening and not feel so controlled, not react without thinking. You're better able to kind of detach and be like, okay, now I know this about myself. How should I react? What decision should I make? It gives you a bit more freedom. It makes you be a bit more flexible. Sometimes you can just laugh it off or smirk at something. If an individual comes at you and tries to take you down by saying, oh, you are this kind of a person, and you're like, yeah, I know. I'm aware. I have worked on myself and I know that I have these flaws and these qualities. Thank you for not saying anything else above what I already knew? So you're better able to just like fence negativity away. You're better able to just work with this energy, you know. In general, it's much better to couple up with people that have a moon in the same sign as you, or in the same element as you, or a moon that has a relative compatibility in terms of elements. So, fire sign moons go really well together with air sign moons. They don't go so well together with earth sign or water sign moons. While earth sign and water sign moons are really good friends, they go well together, and they should generally stay away from fire signs or air sign moons. I'm not saying here that we can't work together, be friends, solve issues together. I'm just talking here in terms of long term compatibility. Do not get married to a person that has a moon in a sign that doesn't work with yours. You will drive each other crazy. Okay? Stay together with somebody that has a moon conjunct your moon, or somebody that has at least a trine or a sextile to your moon, so that at least on the emotional level you got some issues sorted out. It's easier for you guys to kind of come together. As a Gemini moon, I'm surrounded by water sign moons. I think it's also because if you look in the rest of your chart, there may be something there that attracts them. So, for example, maybe you have a water ascendant, or you have Neptune on the ascendant, or Pluto in the first house, like myself, or you have Venus in a water sign, or Mars in a water sign. We also tend to attract people based on the position of our North Node and South Node. For example, when I was growing up, I was born with the South Node in Libra, and it is loosely conjunct my ascendant. My South Node is in the 12th house. And most of my friends in high school, when I was a kid, all of them predominantly air signs, sorry. So I had my best friends were always Gemini, my sister were Geminis, my father was a Libra. My grandmother was a Cancer, but she died very early on, so I wasn't able to have a relationship with her. My other grandmother was a Leo, and I spent a lot of time with her, and she was really influential in my life. I loved her so much. Um, yeah, I had a lot of friends, Gemini, Libras, Sagittarians. Yeah, Sagittarius was very present. Aries. Yeah, those are most of my friends, And now as I'm working at accepting myself, as I'm accepting my sun in Pisces energy, as I'm working through my Pluto and Scorpio in the first house issues, I'm attracting more earth signs and water signs. It's like you activate certain parts that exist already in your birth chart and you start attracting different elements. But you have to become aware, you have to work with them. Hi, Nemosin. What do I think about bipolar? Are you asking me from the perspective of an astrologer, a tarot reader, or a Jungian analyst in training, a clinical psychologist? Because I have all of those things in me. Um, as a clinical psychologist, I would tell you that bipolar energy is a disorder. It's a personality disorder, and it requires treatment. As an astrologer, I would tell you that Amber Heard had it, if I'm not mistaken. Um, and it could be, from an astrological point of view, a problem there between your sun and your moon being in a square. So there are these two competing sides of your personality. Your sun wants you to be in a certain way. You radiate energy in a certain way, but your moon is at odds. Your moon is in a conflict. And this also shows astrologically that you grew up in a family where the mother and the father were fighting all the time, and they were giving you very different values. Your father could have said, be a strong, independent person, don't listen to anybody, be your own leader. And your mother could have said, no, you have to listen to other people, you have to be obedient, you have to respect rules, respect tradition, never be independent, because that's how you lose in life. So you grew up with these two things. And when you're older, you don't know what to do. You don't know what value to fall for. So, yeah. Lepi says, I do have Venus and Scorpio conjunct with South Node. Ah, you see, so that's why you're attracting water signs predominantly, you see. It means that maybe your comfort zone is your Venus and your South Node. You are staying too much in your comfort zone, Lepi. You need to go towards your growth area, which in your case would be the North Node in Taurus. So attracting business-minded people, people that are obsessed with work, orderly, disciplined, earth signs, basically. Yeah. Yes, and Edwana says the same. She has a North Node in Scorpio, and she attracts people with Mars in their sun, Scorpios and Aries. Yeah, you also have to look at your Mars placement, and Edwana. Maybe there's something there with Mars, with masculine energy and how you're using it. Because if you keep attracting people with strong masculine energy, maybe you're underusing your own, like you project it out of yourself. Because when we start using certain energies in our birth charts, we also change kind of like the people that we attract. User IK, just a second, I haven't started yet with the tarot cards. Finds is saying not all Sag, but my best guess is Sag or some sort of fire sign. And Edwana, my Mars is in Cancer. Yeah, okay. If you guys have Mars in Cancer, you're being strongly affected by this full moon in Cancer at the moment. And Mars in Cancer is a very fickle energy. One moment you could have a lot of energy, the next moment, no energy at all. It's very much like the cycle of the moon. So when you have a new moon, the energy of the moon is just low, it's recharging. Then when you have a full moon, it's like you're bursting with energy. Or you're feeling overwhelmed because there's so much energy that you're disposing of. So yeah, a Mars in Cancer by definition is not the best placement of a Cancer. So you were born with a little bit of a broken Mars and Edwana. And that's why I guess you keep attracting Mars conjunct Sun people or Mars in their Sun, Mars ruled people, because it compensates. It compensates for your kind of, I don't want to say broken, but in a way it is your mismatched Mars energy, you know? but you can be very caring for them. You know, Mars in Cancer excels at being caring, excels at doing deep psychological work. They're very good therapists. They're very good parents as well, and very good artists. I once had the biggest crush on this Catalan guy from Barcelona. Oh my God, he was so beautiful. He was a Sun in Taurus, obviously. Ah, these Sun in Taurus men, they're so good looking. God damn. He was so good looking, and he was an artist. He was drawing for a living, and he had a Mars in Cancer. Yeah. Mm. Yeah, he's a wonderful person. And Edwina saying, yes, I only move when my mood allows it. I completely understand. 100%. I'm on that page with you because, yeah, having a Mars in a water sign can be very tricky. Catherine is saying to Edwana, we have a close chart. I have opposite nodes to your Scorpio South node. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of like Taurus and Scorpio North node, South node energy in the chat today. Catherine is saying, I love this channel and its people. Ah, thank you, Catherine. I'm gonna give you guys a heart as well. Let's see. Can I? Yeah. Hearts in the chat, everybody. Melona is saying my partner has a Mars in Cancer and mine is in Aries. Yeah, for compatibility, you have to look in a cross-stitch position. So it's not so important where you have your Mars and your person has. In a way, it kind of shows how you guys take action. But look at the Venus. Is your Mars compatible with your partner's Venus? Is his Venus compatible with your Mars? Because if they are in a cross-stitch formation, you got it made. You know, it's easy. Easy peasy. Yeah. Okay. Let's pull some cards because that's why we are here, right? Let's pull some cards. And you guys made me feel better. I have to say, I'm gonna be honest, you made me feel better. I never thought that talking to people online about exes is going to make me feel good, but life is constantly surprising. Um, so yeah, I feel in a good mood. So right now, let's begin pulling some cards. I want to pull a card for the collective. I'm going to pull one card for the collective from the Body Tarot. I love this tarot deck. A full moon in Cancer is going to affect the stomach. So if you've been having issues with digestion, with the stomach, with eating, overeating, undereating, maybe feeling a little bit nauseated, it's because of that. And look, the energy that we got is the spleen. And here we have the Temperance, healing. Oh. And then we also have here Achievement, Seven of Earth. Okay, so I resonate with this very strongly because I was feeling moody before I came online, very sensitive, very moody. And usually when you have like spleen related issues, there's kind of a sense of melancholy, a sense of fatigue, a sense of, I just don't want to do things. I just don't want to participate. I'm out of it, you know, I don't care, you know, je m'en fiche, as the French would say. And we see here that this part is healing at the moment. Yeah, we're healing this sense of nausea, this sense of boredom, dissatisfaction, feeling out of stuff. I think a lot of us are still hungover. We're still recovering from New Year's Eve celebrations, you know. Hi, Ashley. Yeah, Noctua is saying, I did have a small stomach ache yesterday. Yeah. A spleen cleans. Instead of spring cleaning, we're having a spleen cleaning. Yeah. Good one, Catherine. Yeah, exactly. It just feels like we're processing things through our stomach at the moment. Other parts of the body are the womb, the breasts, so there could be some sensitivity there, especially if you are feminine. There may be some issues with all the aspects that make us feminine. Maybe periods are coming, or they're taking some time to come, or periods could be especially painful around this full moon. Yeah, Samela saying, I'm on a period right now and have the worst cramps ever. Oh, Samela, I'm so sorry that you have to go through this. But yes, it's a consequence of this full moon in Cancer. It does affect the reproductive female organs. Yeah, the womb, especially the ovaries. But I do see here with the Seven of Earth that it's kind of like we will be given the opportunity to put some, like plant some new seeds, begin something new. And if we nurture it in time with patience around this full moon, it's going to grow into something quite materially rewarding, like something financially healthy. So maybe some of you will be having some ideas around this full moon, and it will be worth to write them down because these could be some money making ideas. If you put some thought and effort into them and you just follow your intuition, it could be that a new stream of income is going to appear in your life. Yeah. Um, it's worth following your intuition at the moment. Yeah. But don't put like pressure on yourself. That's the thing. It's a very careful energy. You shouldn't push it, you shouldn't force it. If you feel the guidance, the inner guidance to, oh, let's try out this thing, maybe this will help, then go for it. Yeah. I have also been thinking about Ashley is blessing us with Happy New Year, Soul Fam, manifesting love and light and health for us all. Thank you, sweetie. You are such a ray of light. I'm so happy to have you guys here. And I'm so happy to see you guys. Like, we've been together as a soul family for such a long period of time. And I've been having these really blessed success stories with people that I've been working with for years. Like people that I started doing tarot readings for since the pandemic. And now, like 5 years into it, guys, 5 years. And they have changed so much. I'm so proud of them. They have progressed so much. Their lives are in a completely different place than where they were 5 years ago before we started working together. So I began by complaining about my Pluto and how hard it is. But look, this Pluto is also doing some magic. You guys are adorable. You are so adorable. I love you so much. You really are wonderful people. 5 years went so fast. Yes, because it's been like, I don't know how you guys feel about it, but these 5 years have been out of this world. Like it hasn't felt real. Like we're in a completely different time warp. This decade, are we still on Earth? Is this still the 3D? Are we still in the Matrix? What's going on? Because it feels like we're in someplace else, you know? Like, yeah. Yeah, this decade began with the great conjunction between Pluto, Saturn, Jupiter, and the South Node in Capricorn. Like literally a new foundation. Time is a concept, that's all. Exactly, exactly. Because Saturn rules over time, karma, limits. And it's like something happened. It broke us. It broke the natural flow of time. It broke the way we understand reality. And now we're getting all this weird Aquarius energy. Oh, and wait, guys, because if you feel that we're having a very slow start to the year, it's about to get wacky because we will be having Venus, then Mars, um, entering, and then the Sun, Mercury, entering the signs of Aquarius progressively. And in the last week of January and the first week of February, all of these planets are going to be joined by Pluto. So we'll be having Mars, Pluto, Venus, Sun, Mercury, and also the Moon at some point in Aquarius. Ta-da! So it's going to be fun. And then I think in February, we're also going to begin yes, in February, we're going to have our friend Mercury retrograde beginning for us. Wait, I forgot to show you guys, those of you that join me later, this is my cat and moon calendar for 2026. And I was just, at the beginning, I was just showing you guys how I'm kind of planning ahead and looking at all the changes that will happen. And in February, we will be having, yes, a solar eclipse. The eclipses begin. And then we will also be having a retrograde. So Mercury retrograde with 2 eclipses inside of it. Fun times are ahead. Also, because Saturn is going to be switching signs, Uranus is going to be going direct. February and March are going to be exciting. They're not going to be boring. I'm just going to tell you that, okay? And then the energy is going to gradually kind of relax a little bit because we won't be having these massive planetary changes. We also need to cross over 20th of February because on the 20th of February, Saturn and Neptune are going to be making that tight conjunction, and Saturn conjunct Neptune. It's just this massive collective depression and issues with father figures. Like the entirety of 2025 has been under the energy of a Saturn conjunct Neptune in Pisces. That's why the delusions, that's why the depression, that's why the fogginess and confusion, that's why the stalemates, the disappointments, the collective weirdness that we've been having. Yeah. But look, our goddess here is Lady Sarah, and we have the number 20. I was just talking about the 20th of February. So here it says keywords are new earth, holy grail, oneness, and divine union. So as weird as this energy is from a logical point of view, from a point of view of wealth, abundance, those things seem to be blocked at the moment. But it seems like when we get into our feelings, when we get into this fantasy world, that's when we can extract the beauty of this period. Yeah. Because Pisces is an emotional sign, it's a spiritual sign. And now we're getting Jupiter in Cancer forming this really beautiful trine to Saturn and Neptune. So that's why the beginning of the year feels a little bit like escapist and kind of slow, kind of dreamy. And this is a really good period for you to really think about what you would like to have in your love life, what you would like to see happen, to dream about it. And then you will see that as soon as all these planets enter Aquarius, there will be communication, information exchanges. Things are going to start materializing in a rapid way. Um, Ashley saying, I think I will just hibernate in February then. Yeah. I don't know how to tell the people that are organizing my studies that it's not a good period to schedule exams because it's a Mercury retrograde and there are 2 eclipses coming up, and everything that could possibly go wrong will potentially happen. So the schedule may be, out of proportion. But when you say these things to people, they look at you and they laugh or they crack a joke or they know it's Mercury retrograde, but they're not going to do anything about it to change the schedule. So we're just going to proceed with our mistakes and hope for the best. I'm looking forward to the moment when the powers that be are going to take Mercury retrogrades into account so that they would stop making these massive mistakes, signing these contracts, trying to update programs and computers during a retrograde and having it all crushed down in their faces. Like, how about if we just listen? We have the knowledge. How about if we just pay attention and avoid the problems, avoid the mistakes, avoid the loss of money, the nerves, like the problems that are taking place in corporations with all the people that are hired that have to clean up the messes. Like, just let's listen. Let's listen. We have the knowledge available. Why are we not taking advantage of it? Anyway, my hope. Maybe by the time Pluto hits Pisces and I will be old and gray, maybe then I will be seeing Pluto and Capricorns reinstalling new calendar dates and recreating traditions and kind of bringing Mercury retrograde into the calendar of corporations. That would be wonderful. I'm waiting for these Pluto and Capricorn babies to grow up. My faith and my hope is in them because Pluto and Sagittarius, they're wild cards. You cannot control them. They just need to go through many experiences and wise up on their own. You cannot tell these people what to do. First of all, they're too intelligent and too fast to be told what to do, and second of all, they're too wild and they need to be wild. That's their energy. They're the stallions. But Pluto and Capricorn is law-abiding. Pluto and Capricorn wants to please. And hopefully they're going to create new structures. They're going to be the ones that will lead future corporations and will pay attention to Mercury retrograde, because from a cost and benefits analysis, it will be in their favor. And in terms of their earning potential and earning margin, it will be in their benefit to pay attention to astrological changes. Like, don't launch a program during a Mercury retrograde if you don't want to suffer the costs. We'll see. We'll see. It's important to be hopeful because we don't know the future. We cannot control the future. We don't know what's going to happen, and being pessimistic about it is not going to help anyone. It's just going to fill you up with fear. Why would you do that? Just keep an open mind. Things have a way of working out. Keep an open mind, wish for the better. And even if trouble or challenges happen, at least you made yourself feel good about thinking about positive outcomes in the meantime. You haven't obsessed or worried so that you are completely drained of energy when a challenge actually happens. Save your energy, save your energy, think happy thoughts, and just believe that when something bad is going to happen, you will have the energy and the resources to deal with it, because you're an adult and you're blessed and you're loved by the divine. And you also have people to ask help for. We are here, we're a community, we can ask each other for help. So, speaking of this, the card that I drew from the True Love Oracle is emotional freedom. Hey, hey, hey. Number 13. And you see, number 13 has a bad reputation, but it is a magical number. And we see all of these spirit animals. We see here, is that Pegasus? But it doesn't have the unicorn horn, right? It's just the wings. So I would say it's Pegasus. It's not a unicorn. Did Pegasus have a horn? I don't think he had one, right? I think that's why I'm tempted to say this is Pegasus from Greek mythology, the winged horse. And we see the owl, a symbol of the goddess Lakshmi. We also see the bunny rabbit, a symbol of spring, fertility. So, softness, faith, and wisdom. This is what we need to smoothly sail through the waters of this coming period. I'm going to drink from my coffee cup because I'm getting a bit of a sore throat, and I apologize for the disgusting lipstick stains on my cat cup, coffee cup, but that's what you get when you wear red lipstick. Ugh, the coffee is cold. Anyway, on this note, let's begin. Let's begin to pull some tarot cards. Ashley says, 13 is magical to me since I'm a Swiftie. We stand a good 13 fan, don't we? Catherine is saying that she caught a photo of a Pegasus in the clouds. This cloud Pegasus had a horn. Okay. You need to share it with us at some point, Catherine. Okay, so first of all, there was somebody in the chat that was spamming me with the same question. Let's see, who was it? Okay, user IK1FI2PF, you guys fix your names. Please make them nicer to read and nicer to represent you as well. It's like your calling card here. Why would you become just a user with some random numbers attached to it? So let's see. Will he contact you ever? Ace of Fire, inspiration. Yeah, because he really wants you. So yeah, he will contact you. It's going to happen sooner rather than later with the Ace of Fire, yeah? This person has a lot of desire for you. They may just be delayed by something else happening in your life. Let's see. Hey, Lexi, I'm an artist and I'm dependent on my parents. I have a providing partner as well, but I want to have my own wealth. How will I be financially free according to the universe? So this is for Kamal Kunja healing. That's a very good mindset, have your own wealth. We have here two of metal. So how will you be financially free? You have to be brave to put out there the insights that you're getting. Like you're getting these ideas about how to earn money, but you're not following through with them. And the only way that you will make this money is if you act with courage, be bold, be direct. If you see an opportunity to make money, don't hesitate, just do it. If you feel like you want to talk to somebody about earning a sum of money, just go and talk to them, be bold. Okay. Hey, Cindy, welcome to the Solar Power Crew. Let's see. I'm going to scroll down right now. Ashley's asking, where did I get the calendar from? I got it from a big supermarket chain. It's called Kaufland. I don't know if you guys have it in America, but it's a German chain. So it's basically the land of buying, Kaufland. And it's just like a random supermarket store. I think it was Cispele Nozic, one euro 20 or something like that. Yes. No. We got interrupted. Yes. Let's see. Let's continue. Yeah, you and me both, Ashley. I also have exams during that period, so yeah. Don't worry, it's gonna all work out. It's gonna work out. Whatever has to happen will happen. Okay, fines. Which aspect of my life will be changed in 2026? Let's see. You will be able to overcome a lot of your fears. You will be able to have a better relationship to your stomach as well. Large intestine. Yeah. So for you, fines in 2026, you'll become better at managing fear. You will lessen your anxiety and you'll have a better relationship to your stomach and your large intestine. Um, yeah, in general, I think you'll have a better relationship to your feelings. I wish YouTube would show the usernames the way they used to. Oh, so it's a problem with YouTube? Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. Sirinidi, what's new brewing for me, Lexi? The pancreas. We see here death transformation. So, Sirinidi, you are going to go through a massive change. I would recommend that you don't resist it. Get ready for the wave of change to hit your town. Just go with it. Whatever happens that can be a bit destabilizing in your environment, don't be afraid. Go with the change because it will take you exactly where you need to be. But you have to be open minded and allow the universe to make these changes for you. Illusion. Should I open myself up to people in general? I've been isolating myself from everyone because I'm scared and I don't want anyone to bring an imbalance to my goals. I know what you're I know what you're saying because I've been feeling very self-protective lately, Illusion. But let's see. Uh, yes, you should open yourself up. Two of water, ease. I feel that if you open yourself up to people, you will be surprised that somebody may fall in love with you quite fast, quite soon. Um, I don't know what to say. It's the Two of Cups. So, yeah, open up because you are a person that is very lovable. And the moment when you open up, you're going to be surprised as to not only how many people will like you, but also you will find somebody that will love you. Semela. I've been feeling stuck in my love life for the last 5 years. Will things change this year? Let's see. Semela. I think that you are finally going to be in a healthy relationship with somebody because I got the 10 of wood and the health energy. So I feel that you are going to be with somebody in a real stable relationship with somebody that is going to be like healthy for you. I don't know how to say it. It's not a toxic situation. You may have been feeling like you were stuck, but actually, in these last 5 years, things were changing inside of you. And now you're finally able to manifest a relationship that is solid, stable, loyal, and good for you. So, yeah, things are going to change. They will change slowly, gradually. Okay, Melone. I've been struggling with securing a job for almost a year now. Is there something I need to focus on to welcome better energy? Let us It's like, sorry guys, but this onesie is kind of, I can put it like this. I look like a techno priest from June. Okay, enough with being silly. Okay, Melanie, no, this is not your card. Sorry about that. Okay, Melanie, in terms of job, you kind of got two cards here, and I'm tempted to show you both because we have the Five of Wood and the Six of Wood. It's showing me that the problem is pettiness and the cure is freshness. So what this means, Melanie, is that you've been settling for jobs that are beneath you. You have to reach higher. You have to apply for jobs that you believe you're not going to get because you may very well find that you actually qualify for them. Um, I feel like you may have evolved in terms of your job and your earning potential, but you don't see it. You keep selling yourself short. So to achieve this better energy, you need to want more for yourself. You need to ask for more. You need to value yourself better. And the way to do that is to apply for better paying jobs, jobs that you don't think you're going to get because you will get them. There's an issue here with self-esteem. Illusion, it could be that you're terrified of opening up because you have a trust wound. So you may need to sit a little bit with yourself and ask, what is the worst thing that could happen to me? And maybe to do some exercises related to seeing people for who they are in the present rather than projecting onto people in the present the energy of the people from the past. Because people can hurt us when we are growing up. But if we carry those issues with us and we keep seeing new people with the eyes of the old people, that's when problems happen. Because not everybody that's going to enter into your life illusion is going to betray you, is going to hurt you. Some people in the past have. And also, you need to think about the people in the past that were kind to you and focus more on that. Because I'm sure that there were people in your life that were kind to you. They weren't all negative. So increase your trust by looking at people in the present for what they really are. Let go of past people that have hurt you. And yeah, definitely just focus on the positives in people. Try to see the good in people, because people are never unidimensional. Sometimes they can be assholes, but some of them can be assholes with a heart of gold, you know. Sometimes some people can be fickle and unpredictable, but they can be incredibly good at giving you advice. People have, two sides to them. And you need to also love those two sides and that duality inside of yourself. And then the world will become less scary. Okay, Ashley just heard sirens while I was talking about the trust one. Synchronicity. Yes, the next 2 years, when Saturn will enter Aries, it's a wonderful opportunity for us to be bold again, to take chances, to overcome fear, Fears related to ourself, fears related to how we are in relation to other people. Because Chiron in Aries has been creating these big wounds that are connected to our sense of confidence and our sense of who we are. And now Saturn is going to really, really bring those points home. And it will show us that, yeah, oh my God, there is a fear here. What are you going to do? Are you going to allow this fear to block you? Or are you going to overcome this fear and show courage? So in the next year, courage is going to be very necessary, but it will also be in short supply. Yeah. Oh, illusion. It's super important for you. If Saturn, Neptune, and Chiron will be in your seventh, then you really need to pay attention to how you speak to other people. You really need to listen to other people more and be very patient with relationships. And you also need to work on your shadow self. Integrate in yourself those things that you are afraid of. What you don't like about other people, what scares you about others, exists inside of you as well. So you have to find a way to make friends with the beast inside of you if you want to love other people. Yeah. Have you guys seen the series, the Netflix series with Claire Danes, The Beast Inside of Me? It was really cool. I really enjoyed it. And it's interesting because Claire Danes, she's an Aries sun. And I forgot the name of the guy who plays the killer in the movie, but he's a Scorpio. Um, let me just see. Let me just see very quickly. The Beast in Me is called um, Matthew Rhys. Matthew Rhys, and I think Matthew Rhys is a Scorpio. Yeah, he was born on the 8th of November. So it's interesting because it's a movie about shadow aspects. It's exactly about that, and how if you don't deal with shadow material, you may encounter a neighbor who becomes a killer and gets you to face your guilt and gets you to face the worst aspects in yourself. Yeah. Um, and Edwana saying that she watched Melancholia the other day, really intriguing. You mean the movie by Lars von Trier, right? With Kirsten Dunst? Wow. When the planet Melancholia hits, you can't run away. You have to deal with it. It's a really interesting movie. It's fascinating and kind of scary at the same time, kind of heavy to watch, heavy to process. But Lars von Trier's movies are like that. I've been haunted by Dogville ever since I watched it, because it's the story of this woman who is basically trying to people please her way into peace and quiet. And what happens is the opposite, because everybody ends up using her, manipulating her, and gaslighting her until she just has a breaking point and she finally faces the anger that she was running away from and she completely destroys all of them. It's so satisfying. Like the final scene in Dogville is so satisfying after you see all the abuse that she had to endure. So yeah, don't people please. Don't people please deal with your depression. Nature is chaos. This is basically the core conclusions of Lars von Trier's movies. Okay. Who else wants an answer to the question? I see here number 33. Lexi, will I get a job soon, and in what field? Will you get a job soon? Yes. And inspiration, the artistic field. Anything related to art, art education, art management, entertainment as well. Yeah, so maybe working for a music company, a production company, film, entertainment, radio, television. Melancholia is more about being a realist versus being an optimist. It's a beautiful metaphor for how a depressed person feels. That's how I saw it, because there are these images of her in a wedding dress wearing a robe and her are pulling her back. Cannot progress. And that's exactly how you feel when you're depressed. That's exactly how you feel. You feel like you're walking through molasses. Like whatever you do, you just can't find the energy to move forward. Whatever you have in your life, I think she has her gorgeous husband, right? Alexander Skarsgård. She has everything she needs. Getting married, it's her wedding day, and she feels like shit. All she wants to do is lie in a bathtub like her mother used to do. So it's about the intergenerational transmission of depression. It's about how depression colors each and every nook and cranny of your life, how it affects the relationship with your sister, your husband, how it makes you to do self-destructive things like to cruise that man that is a random waiter because of anger, because of fury, because of self-destructiveness. I think it's a beautiful portrayal of a manic depressive person. My sound is off. Sorry. Can you guys hear me now? The chat is being trolled and packaged on your side. I don't know what that means. I don't see how the chat is being. I don't see any comments here that I need to report. You guys hear me now? Is it still a bit off? Maybe because I was moving. Okay, so now you can hear me? Or is it still a bit off? I had to back out several times because the ability to chat was interfered with. Said I had to be a subscriber. I was subscribed for 5 minutes. Oh no. Yes. It's okay, Catherine. You can say these things, of course. Please, I encourage you all to say these things. You don't have to hide it. So if there are any issues with the chat, with my sound, it's a bit cracking. Guys, I don't know why. I'm not sure if I'm reaching maybe a limit with live stream because I've been live streaming for 1 hour and 20 minutes. Maybe that's it. Sound was good until now. I take the headphones off. Do you hear me better now? Do you guys hear me now? I can see that there's a small. Okay, you can still hear me. I guess that you can also hear the fall into the deep sleep music in the background. My sound is off again. Let's try it now. Okay, can you hear me now? Is it better now? Ashley has been on live streams for 7 to 8 hours because she watches court trials. Wow, you have a lot of patience, Ashley. Yeah, it's better now? Okay, I'm happy. Okay, very clear. Okay, I just had to unplug it and put it back in. The usual reset. Okay, fine. Thank you for joining us. Thank you. Please let me know, guys, if you have any more questions that I can help you with the tarot. Okay. It's okay. You can join us next time. Don't worry. As you guys know, these are all recorded. You can find them here. Yeah. I'm also thinking about doing a new pick a card reading for you guys. Trying to work on both memberships to update the memberships and also post more content. Ashley is asking, when will my body be more fully healed? Resilience. We see here the teeth, strength and resilience. So I kind of feel like it's going to be a process and you're going to have to put some physical work into it, Ashley. If you want your body to be fully healed, you may need to tackle the issue with a lot of movement, sports, because strength is this energy of physicality, you know? So yeah, this is about really putting in effort to, if you want to heal your body, you actually have to make your body sweat. You have to push your body into movement. You have to body build. Yeah. Anna, Does my crush want to meet me? Does he miss me? Should I forget about him and move on? Yeah, just forget about him. Does my crush want to meet Anna? The question, Anna, is do you want to meet him? Movement. Yes, he wants to meet you. And payoff. Movement and payoff. Blue and yellow. This relationship is a little bit hot and cold, I can see. So yeah, I feel like, yeah, this person wants to meet you, but they are a little bit they're trying to overcome some sort of depression or negative mood. Maybe this person is sensitive to the full moon in Cancer, you know? Lepi, will I be accepted to an internship on the Canary Islands this year? Whoa, that's a fun adventure, Lepi. Let's see, will you be accepted? If you put in the work, yeah, 100%. The stomach. So we have here justice, fairness. So if you're following the rules, if you're putting in the work, if all your paperwork is in order, if you have like a valid passport, you know, if you did not lie in your job application, then it's going to work out. Yeah. So Lepi, make sure that you are following the rules, that you got all your paperwork and documentation in order, and that you are not lying to people, that you're being fully honest about what you want to do when you reach the Canary Islands. But I see that the odds are in your favor. Justice is served. The sound went again for you. Let's see, Seti. Why doesn't he say anything? Should I forget him? Sorry, I got a lot of cards. I'm confused. Katerina saying sound is okay. Why doesn't he say anything? Well, because he's resting. Why are you stressing him out? You shouldn't forget about him. You just you need to let him rest, you know? Seti, don't be impatient. Yeah, he's resting. He seems very low on energy. You shouldn't forget about him. Just send him a note and just say, hey, how are you? Are you doing well? Do you need anything? Because maybe he just wants you to come over and Netflix and chill once he gets rested. Maybe lots of cards because a lot of us wonder that. I had to reload the video. Lol, it's okay now. Yeah, like a lot of us have to reload, reconnect. You're tired of his silence. Well, it's because he's resting. Maybe you should rest as well, so that he's resting, you're resting, and then when you're both with your batteries fully charged, you can reconnect and have energy. Crimson Clover. Hi, Lexi. I'm Selin. Will I be able to find my purpose in my career life? Let's see. I'm kind of getting similar cards, which makes me feel I should change the tarot deck because I don't trust the cards when they keep the cards are tired. Okay. Hi, Lavia. Hi, Lexi. How are you, love? I am doing so much better now than I was when I started this live stream. You guys have a very positive, benefic effect on your tarot reader. You're very powerful, just so you know. Ashley saying, I'm over Netflix and chill. I want Netflix and marry, Netflix and chill. No, you know what you want? You want HBO. HBO and Prosecco on the mountaintop or something like that. I don't know. Oh, I said something like recently to a guy who I had like a passionate fling with. And I didn't believe what I was saying. Like the words just popped out of me. But we had a one night stand, and he keeps wanting to see me. And I'm like, no, it was just a one night stand. Thank you. It was important. I needed it. Thank you so much. But it's like he wants more. And I'm just like, you got the free trial, but the next part is going to be subscription based. Oh, I grossed myself out because like I said, like if this is gonna be a relationship, you have to take me out. You have to take me out, you know, you're not just gonna we're not going to see each other on the dirty for months on end, you know. We're not going to make this a string of one night stands. It was just a one night stand because that's what we signed up for, like two adults that were horny and in need of some release. Let's just leave it at that. But he wants more. And I was like, yeah, then take me out. Treat me like a human being, you know. And now silence. He's considering the membership option, whether he should pay in installments or all in one go. But yeah, think about that, guys. Offering a free trial, but then subscription-based access to you. Yeah. So sorry about that weird insight into my love life. Okay, I'm sorry. I got completely distracted by my own drama. I forgot who I was answering the question for. I think it was Celine. I think I didn't give you an answer, right? So, Celine, for you, will you be able to find your purpose in your career life? King of Cups. I feel that your capacity to find purpose in your career is heavily affected by your father figure. You may need to work through certain problems that exist between you and your father and maybe talk about him more, write what you feel about him in a diary, analyze your relationship a little bit to him, how he spoke to you, what messages he conveyed to you, because your father is somehow unconsciously influencing your purpose in your work. And once you deal with this father wound, this father complex, you're going to find more pleasure in whatever it is that you're doing and feel more happy at work. Yeah. Sasa, what are his true feelings towards me and what will be the final outcome of our relationship? His true feelings towards you are the fool. He wants to do crazy things for you. With the fool here, he's very open. He wears his heart on his sleeve. He's quite an impulsive person. So I feel like he doesn't have that many feelings for you yet. I feel like he's very all over the place. He could be a bit erratic. To me, the fool represents Uranus energy, so Aquarius. So this is like friendly energy towards you. He has the best intentions, but he can be a little bit chaotic. So give it some time. Thank you, Lavia. Thank you. You're so kind. Thank you for the beautiful compliments. Ashley saying, I have had several men from the past reach out for me, and I just don't want that anymore. It's time for subscriptions. Yeah, okay. Tier them, guys. Okay, tier them. Based on their previous performance, you have to find a tier system where you give access, just like a person that has a Patreon account, you know? It's like $5 for the people that satisfied me, not so much, you know? And then you have like gold subscription for those that were the best lovers, but they couldn't commit to you at the right time. And create a tier list, you know? I'm just gonna tell you guys what my therapist told me. You are a free woman. Live like one. You know, give yourself permission not only to think that you are free, but actually live like you are a free person. That's one way as well to rebel against the patriarchy. And we see this awful trend of being trad wives and women leaving the workforce and awful things like that. But yeah, that's one way. That's one way to stick it up to the man. Be free. Live like a free person. Crimson Clover is saying, wow, Lexi, actually, me and my father were considering working together. King of Cups, yes, work with your father. If that is an option, work with him. Okay, he's going to really help you find your purpose in your career. Seti, yes, you can. Catherine, you're a wordsmith. It's like instead of a tier list, a tier list, you know? We're playing with words, guys. I like it. I like it. There's a reason why you guys are my soul family. Hostile men patriarchy still see real and here in modern times. Yes, unfortunately. The patriarchy is not going to go away because, for one thing to exist in the world, its opposite is immediately created. For goodness to exist in the world, we also have evil. For masculinity to exist, femininity exists. So we're always going to be having these forces. It's just that at the moment, there has been too much power given to one side, and the other side has been made vulnerable, obliterated, persecuted, and we need to balance the scales again. It's not a case of completely eliminating men or fighting with them until the end. No, it's insane. It's crazy. We need both men and women, but we need men to respect the rights of women and women to respect the rights of men. We need stability, equality, equal access to rights, more options for both of us to live freely and to choose each other freely based on desire, not on need, not on persecution, not on domination, not on violence. Yeah. And we need to cut the crap with all this caveman discourse. I am so tired of people bringing biology into this. Cavemen used to drag their women by the hair. No shit, they did not. Because the caveman had predators bigger than it that it had to fight with. And a caveman that had a cave woman next to him was a lucky caveman because he could survive and procreate. So he would not treat her in that way. Just think about that. Just think in terms of logic. But when you're out fighting a saber tooth, you need all the support of all the fellow humans around you. You're not going to treat them with disrespect because you may die if you do. You need somebody to help you attack a saber tooth, right? You need to, huddle in caves for warmth with other people because members of your species will be technically less inclined to obliterate you than other species that are bigger and bolder than you. So yeah, anyway, I don't know where we're getting these kind of like data and people are talking with so much confidence like they were there and they knew exactly what cavemen were doing. No shit, nobody knows anything. History is subjective. Yeah. Anyway, sorry, I'm going on these weird rants. Cuddle puddle. I love this. This is my next thing. I'm gonna make a t-shirt with this. I need a cuddle puddle. Definitely. We all need one. With the full moon in Cancer, we all need a cuddle puddle. Yes. I think men need a cuddle as well. They've not been doing well. With all this pressure on their shoulders, all these Andrew Tate wannabes. And Andrew Tate was caught in Romania, which is really funny and ironic out of all the places in the world. He got caught by pizza in Romania. So it's just, oh my God, I don't know. Catherine owns a plumbing company for 37 years. Go, Catherine. Whoa. Yeah. Okay, going back to questions, because I see Seti was asking one. What does M really think about me and how important am I to him? Let's. And I think we're reaching the end of the live stream. So Seti, I think yours is going to be the final one. I would like you to be careful with M because it seems like he doesn't have the best intentions. We have here the Seven of Swords. So this is about being a thief in broad daylight. This is about gaslighting you. This is potentially telling you things that you want to hear, not the truth, hiding things from you, conversation that can be manipulative. Okay, so if he does these things to you, you're not really that important to him. You're only as important as he gets you to fulfill something for him. So it's kind of selfish. So be careful. Okay, not a good energy. Seven of Swords. Hello, Lexi. Happy New Year, Bella. Bella Jariut. Hey. Lavi, is somebody entering my life, new or past? Let's see. Have you guys been going, just one second. The devil is entering your life. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, it just felt so blunt. It's like the devil is entering your life. A Capricorn is entering your life. I see here somebody that is really turned on by you. They never stopped wanting you, Lavi. So if you have a soft spot for this Capricornian individual that may have prioritized work over you, then get on it. I don't know what to say. Just enjoy it. It feels like it's somebody that you had some karma with, so it's past love. Somebody from your past that has Capricornian energy. Okay, Lavi? Bella, what should I know, be aware about this relationship? I wanted to say something earlier, but I feel like I forgot, and it's good. Maybe I should stop sharing. Bella, you need to be aware that this relationship will require a leap of faith. It will require you to be a bit crazy and do something out of the ordinary. This relationship is not going to work if you are going to follow tradition. It could be a relationship in which you need to initiate things. Yeah. I'm here to let you know, guys, that in love, from my experience, and I also noticed I was paying attention to Millie Bobby Brown and Jack Bon Jovi, I think it's his name. They are together, they're married, they adopted a child. She is a Pisces, he's a Taurus, and apparently their relationship began when she was the one who kind of broke the boundary of their friendship and told him, "Hey, I have feelings for you. Are you single? Do you want to be with me?" And he kind of, very typical for a Taurus, he was like, "Wow, you're very bold." He took a step back and he called her the next day and said, "Sure." Very typical for a Taurus, he had to sleep on it, you know. Taurians never do anything when they're rushed, you know. Um, so yeah. And it's interesting because I was also looking at Pete Davidson and what is the name of his girlfriend? Because I don't think they're married yet, but they just had a child together. And I think that they're a very compatible, cute couple. Um, Hewitt. Elsie Hewitt, yeah. So they are together. They had a baby recently. And Elsie is a Pisces. She's born on the 5th of March, and he is a Scorpio with a lot of Capricorn placements, 16th of November. So they're very compatible from an astrological zodiacal point of view. But she was the same. Like, apparently, they met, and she was like, "Hey, how are you? What are you doing for the next 40 years?" It's like she knew from the beginning, it's like, "You're going to be the father of my child." And that's exactly what happened. So, guys, it's like, if you want to be in a connection with somebody, just grab him, just tell him, just like, I want you. I'm marrying you. I'm having a child with you. Right now, I'm moving into the same home with you. You will want me, whether you like it or not. Just hold him at gunpoint. I don't know. No, I'm not. I'm not suggesting this, but I'm here to let you know that it's paying off sometimes. If you want a guy to be with you, just go and say that to him. Do you want to have sex? If that is what you want to have. Do you want to have my baby? If that is what you want to achieve. Let's get married. And it will happen. I proposed to my husband. And that's why we got married, because I actually was bold enough to do that. I frequently initiate sex. I tell a guy if I want him, I'm like, okay, let's do it. I'm ready. And it very rarely backfired. I never got rejected. I think it just happened to me a couple of times, and I never took it personally. I'm just like, okay, fine. You're not in the mood. You're tired. It's okay. Or you don't want to be with me, because most of the time I found out later that men that rejected me were in connections with other women, and they were lying to me about that. So that was really harsh to stomach, because I never want another woman to suffer because of me being the other woman. And I hate it when men don't tell me that, because it feels like they're making me a culprit without my knowledge, and I hate that, because it's bad karma, and I don't want to be misled into bad karma. So yeah. Catherine is saying, I didn't choose plumbing. Plumbing chose me. Yeah. Oh, you're so kind, Illusion. Thank you so much for the beautiful compliments. It's been a pleasure to show up because you guys are awesome. And even if I have bad days and I don't want to create something where I don't want to show up, even showing up makes me feel good, it makes me feel better about everything. So it's your energy as well, guys. It's not just me. We're making all of this together. And yeah, I'm not the best role model. I'm a very flawed person, a very fucked up girl, trying to be a woman, an adult woman, a free woman. Um, but I hope that me sharing parts of myself with you is at least making you laugh, is at least making you feel like you're not the only weirdo in the room, like you have a buddy, somebody who is as weird as you. So that is my hope. Um, Yeah, just so you know, sitting around and waiting to be chosen is overrated. It's fine if you go ahead and you take the bull by the horns and you choose yourself. In love, it's okay for you to choose. It's okay for you to decide. It's okay for you to just share your body if you want to with somebody you desire. It's absolutely fine. You don't have to sit around like a wallflower and just wait for life to happen to you, wait for people to choose you. Most of the time, many people don't even know that you want them. um, some people don't catch on hints, they don't catch on subtleties. uh, so just put it into words and be bold and brave and run the risk of being rejected. Rejection is good for the heart. Rejection is healthy. Both men and women should permit themselves the risk of being rejected. In the last 2 years, as I was having Saturn transiting through my fifth house, the house of romance and short term love affairs, I went on certain dates with people from online, and not all of them were successful. I was rejected by a guy on the premise of being too spiritual for him, even though I believe that the date went really well. Um, I was kind of like betrayed by somebody. So it took me a while until I had a successful encounter. Um, and most of the times, if the encounters were not successful, um, it was sometimes because of something that was happening to me, or sometimes it was also something that was happening to them. So um, it's good to have a realistic perspective. It's good to accept rejection and deal with it and handle it. It's good to also try something and see it happen. And then your confidence is like boosted, like, whoa, I actually asked for that and it happened. And wow. Um, so yeah, it's a pick and mix bag. But yeah, I just wanted guys to know that the whole um, women are from Venus and men are from Mars, and a traditional woman knows her worth and sits in her lane and waits for the man to choose her. It's bullshit. Complete bullshit. Some of you were born with very strong masculine energy. Some of you have Leo, Capricorn, Aries in your placements, your big threes. You're not the kind of person who's going to accept lack of control. You are going to want to be the leader. You're going to want to be the one that controls it. So do exactly that. Grab your guy. Tell your guy that you want him. And you will find that the universe is going to pair you with men that will enjoy being led, that will enjoy being told what to do. Because some men are like that. Some men really want a bossy, sexy dominatrix. And not all of them are just cavemen, you know. So yeah. Those are my 2 cents. I hope this helped. I hope it was entertaining. I'm gonna go now and sleep, I think. Thank you guys for making me feel better. I hope I made you feel better. I hope I answered your questions. And I will see you next time. And keep an eye out for me and my work on all the channels that are out there, because you guys know I have a lot of channels, right? I have Lexi Games, where I upload gaming content. I have Universul de Vise, where I upload tarot readings in my native language, in Romanian. I have the spiritual cosmos, astrology, and I have obviously the spiritual social, and I also have Eden nearby. I haven't been uploading there. On Eden nearby, it's a complete work of love. I'm only uploading when I'm traveling, and I haven't been doing that lately. Uh, but I hope in the summertime to do that. I hope I can take you guys with me to my therapy classes at some point and to show you um, some parts of Bucharest where I hang out. But I'm waiting for the weather to be a little bit better, you know? So, yeah, just so you know, I'm also going to be, I think I'll be putting the finishing touches on an article about love and loss and Pluto and fourth house issues and movie recommendations and a lot of quotes. I've been writing it and I feel like I'm ready to release it, I think today or tomorrow. So watch out for articles on my blog. This year, I plan to be a bit more consistent. I plan to release an article maybe once every week or once every 2 weeks. So I plan to write a bit more about books and films and my personal struggles so that you guys can have fun with. uh, Late stage capitalism is getting us to market ourselves from an emotional point of view. And yeah, we're all emotional commodities in the end. Yeah. Anyway, I love you guys. All this being said, I love you guys. Thank you for hanging out with me. Take care. Happy full moon in Cancer. Allow whatever dreams happen to you tonight to happen, and please write them down because you could find some ideas that can inspire you to maybe, start a new financial endeavor, start something that you enjoy doing. Yeah. Okay, good. So take care, and I'll see you next time. The next time when we will see each other, it will be, I think, on the 17th. There is a full moon. 1 second. No, there's a new moon in Capricorn on the, just a moment, because I need to open Astro Seek. New moon in Capricorn, 18th of January. Yeah. And then from that new moon, the energy is going to change in the skies. You guys will see. Things are going to be more fast, a lot of speed, a lot of chaos, but fun chaos. Yeah. Okay. So love you guys. Take care. Bye. Kawaii. Ciao.